discuss about the various schemes, facilities, supporters, opportunities available for SME to build our nation and to achieve a goal or target of not only 3 trillion but 5 trillion by 2030. And I think it is our prime responsibility to contribute for our nation building. And for that purpose, we must be up to date. We must have a current affairs related information. We must attend such conferences, seminars, and panel discussions, enrich our own self so that we can carve a niche in our respective business. It can be SME industry, it can be service sector industry, it can be hospitality, it can be manufacturing, it can be textile, it can be IT, it can be biotechnology, it can be pharma. It's applicable for one and all. And therefore, first of all, I would like to thank again Dr. Chandrakant Salunke and his entire team for giving us this opportunity to assemble here in this wonderful premise of JW Marriott in Pune and to enlighten and enrich all of us through series of discussions, panel discussions, inaugural sessions, and this is the second technical sessions where I'm chairing. Myself, Sanjay Chordia, already had a detailed introduction and address to all of you. Now we have with us a very, very eminent panel member. I'll just take their name first. All of you have an agenda available with you. One is Hema Khatri, Manager, SBI Insurance Company Limited. Is she there? Jigar. In her place you have come, sir. Jigar Desai in her place is from SBI Insurance. Then Samir Sathe, he is the Executive Vice President of Bharwani Foundation. Hi Samir, welcome. Krishna Das is expected. Oh, welcome sir. Please. Krishna Das is an eminent personality from Foreign Trade Development Department, Joint Director General of Foreign Trade Pune. Then Ambika Banotra. Oh, yeah. And she is a very unique personality. She said, I really do not know about anything today's topic, but I'm sure she's definitely going to enrich all of us by sharing her experience related to the opportunities in Germany for SME sector. Then Honorable Supriya Badveji, we heard her husband today, a 5,000 crore turnover company, started from 3 people, 1 lakh rupees turnover to almost 5,000 crore rupees turnover. Entire two-wheeler, particularly for Bajaj Auto Company, they are almost sole suppliers and having more than 12 plants across the country. Then Vinayak Temgire is the Managing Director of Temgire Consultancy Services, and he has a huge academic, very rich academic background and corporate experience. So without taking much of your time, we have conducted our inaugural session, then first technical session. I feel when we are in Pune, Pune is also known for it's a historic city, it's an education city, it's a cultural capital of our country. And I feel it is our prime responsibility to pay tribute to 3 legendary personalities, or 4 rather, who have passed away during this last couple of weeks. Of course, one is Bharat Ratna Lata Mangeshkar ji, Honorable Ramesh Dev ji, then of course Rahul Bajaj ji, because we are all discussing about the SME, and Rahul Bajaj has given a huge contribution through his Bajaj Auto Limited, a pioneer company for manufacturing of two-wheeler and three-wheeler in Pune, Aurangabad and many other locations. And fortunately, Badwe madam is here, she can talk more about that. I can request her to give a brief. All of you are aware, but a legendary personality in the corporate world. All of you have heard about him. And last, Bapi Lariji. I think all these 4 personalities have contributed in their respective sector, and therefore we should give them Shraddhanjali. We'll stand for a minute. I'll say Om, then we'll end with the Shraddhanjali program. and start our technical program too, organized by SME Chamber of India. Again, I repeat, we are going to pay tribute to all these four legendary personalities. That way for all, but particularly during last 2 weeks, we have seen this mishap, and we have lost, the country has lost the renowned personalities, which is an asset of our country, not only in India, but also internationally known personalities. Thank you all. With this now, I request all the panel members, one by one, to introduce themselves about their key achievements during their period of last 10 to 20 to 25 years of service in brief, so that we all can correlate about their achievements, their experience, and what they are doing at present. Once that is done, then we'll have a actual panel discussion related to the today's topic. After that, I request each one of you, you can note down your important questions and pass on it to me. So the session will end with the question and answer session with the concluding remarks. I hope all of you are ready, friends. Should we start? Thank you. So first I'll request SBI General Insurance General Manager to please introduce himself and also inform why Hema Madam has not come.
Hello.
Thank you.
Sir. Hema Madam couldn't travel from Mumbai today, so I'm replacing her. I am Jigar Desai. I am area head for SME for SBI General Insurance. I have been working in the domain since almost 22 years, and I'm a fellow of Institute of Certified Risk and Insurance Managers. Since almost 22 years, I am working with insurance, and with SBI General, I am with almost 12 years, sir. Thank you so much.
Samir Thate, sir.
This is Samir. First of all, let me thank Chandrakantji for inviting me here. It's a great honor to be here associated with SME Chambers. I lead a Bharwani Advantage program for Bharwani Foundation. Bharwani Foundation is a global philanthropy based in Silicon Valley, founded by Dr. Ramesh Wadhwani, who is Padma Shri, who has stayed there for last 40 years, built 42 companies, 41 of them have been successful. And he's a billionaire, but just like his wallet, his heart is also large. So he has pledged $1.5 billion for the purpose of job creation. I lead the program to focus and help the small businesses to accelerate their growth, because it's through their growth that they will be able to hire people and solve the problem of jobs. I have led a career of 30 years in strategy management consulting, and have a master's in psychology from NCR, France. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. I now request Krishna Dasji to introduce himself.
Hello, good afternoon to all. I am Krishnadas, Foreign Development Officer in DGFT Pune. Basically, I was in Mumbai in the DGFT. Last 1.5 years, I have been working in Pune. And I have got the experience of 25 to 30 years in the organization, and I will be brief on the exports and the incentives and the role of DGFT in the export performance to especially the SME units. And let me also express my profound gratitude towards the organizers to be part of this auspicious occasion. Thanks a lot. Have a nice time. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for a brief and nice introduction. I request now Ambika ma'am to please introduce herself and also about your organization and association with German.
I think I need to speak a little bit louder, since we can, hear that people are enjoying there. Yeah, I think maybe I. So, Namaskara Pune. My name is Ambika Banotra. I am representing the German state of North Rhine-Westphalia. I have worked with German consulate Bangalore for last 11 years, and now this is the new role which I have taken over. Of course, NRB Global Business India is new in India. But the relationship between North Rhine-Westphalia and India is not very new. It's quite old. So I'm here to inform you about the ecosystem because I'm very thankful to Mr. Chandrakant Salunke because and sir was also surprised when he was telling, okay, you are also on the panel because 2 days back only he asked me, Ambika, you have started, so what is there for Indian SMEs? He's a big promoter of Indian SMEs. So what is there for them? How do you can brief us about that? So yes, here I am. I'm coming from Karnataka, Bangalore. The first office is in Bangalore, and hopefully we'll also open in Pune and other states as well. So thank you for being me here, and I'll brief you later. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ambika ma'am. Now I request Supriya Badwe ma'am to briefly introduce about her activities other than Badwe engineering also, because you are doing a lot of other activities. Over to you, ma'am.
Hello, good afternoon everyone. I'm Supriya Badwe, working as an Executive Director for Badwe Engineering Group. As Badwe sir told in the morning, it's a very humble beginning for the group. We have started with 1 lakh rupees turnover and today we reach up to 5,000. Uh, Working as a CSR chairperson for the group, and I'm looking after CSR activities for the group also. Apart from my Badwe engineering activity, I am running a floriculture unit at Talegaon. It is high-tech agriculture, wherein I have 11 acres of area and we have planted almost 2 lakhs roses and I'm exporting. This is a commercial activity and it's my baby, it's my passion. So it's wholly run by me and more women are there and they are given the jobs over there. Uh, and we are exporting to Japan. So this is my passion for the nature which has turned into business. Apart from that, from since my childhood, I was athlete, but that athlete journey stopped at when I reached 11th standard because academics was given lot of importance. So one fine day I thought, this is not the way I should contribute something, maybe very small thing, maybe small contribution to sports industry, and that's why recently we have started Sports Indie. So under Sports Indie, we are promoting sports and we want to establish a good sports ecosystem. What I feel for a nurturing a sports person, that is not only the sport person is growing, but apart from him, a mentor, a coach, a sports psychologist, a sports medicine doctor, a physiotherapist, all are these eco factors of sports in the sports ecosystem. And so that's why we have started two programs, World of Sports on YouTube channel and Samvad Matidla Khyaduinshi on in Marathi. So this is what I want to take it forward. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Supriya ma'am. Now I request Vinayak ji to kindly introduce himself. You can use that mic. Yeah.
Good afternoon. I would like to start my introduction by asking the question. If you give me the answer, then I will give my introductions. If you want to start export and import business, do you want to know the export import process and documentation? This is my question. Yes or no? If you want to start your export and import business, do you want to know export import process and documentation? Yes or no?
Yes, yes.
Okay. My answer is no. You do not need to know the export import process and documentation because we have developed a system which has automated total export import solution under one roof. Just fill up the one form, all pre-shipment, post-shipment documents will be ready. Myself, Vinayak Timgire, founder of 24 Mile, and I am very happy to say on 15 January 2022, our startup got recognized on national level with the presence of Prime Minister Narendra Ji Modi.
And of Lord friend, many congratulations, sir.
And also government written, they have informed that you will get the total supports, whatever is required, government connect, funding, everything you will get it. I am a management graduate, specialization in international trade, plus I am a Six Sigma black belt. During 10 years of corporate job, I have worked on the various process improvement projects, cost saving procurement activities, and done a lot of cost saving. And what I observed during my last assignment, if I do the 7 to 8 crores of saving to one of the MNCs, then why can't I do it that value addition to the small scale? Then since 2015, I have started my own venture, and we have developed 24-mile digital platform. Right now, it is recognized on national level. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Vinayakji. Very innovatively you have introduced yourself. Now am going to ask common questions to all the panelists. In any sequence, they can just raise their hand. I request all of them to go there on the mic, on the podium, because the quality of voice audibility is much better through this hand mic. So my question to all of you, sir, in the interest of all the distinguished guests, invitees, or the members of SME Chamber, Pune region, how and when the guidance from all of you can be given, and what are the important 3 or 5 points you would like to tell on this occasion, so that they will take some takeaways or some value addition which will benefit to their own business or to their associates, or they can think of such an activity which you can suggest. So this question is open to all the panel members, the experts, the distinguished guests in the respective field. So over to all the panelists, you can raise hands. If you want to show your company presentation, and through that, if you want to explain, you are free to do so. So over to, I think Mr. Sathe is the right person. Yes, they are doing a fantastic job. It's a kind of a CSR initiative, and I'm sure each one of you is definitely going to get benefited. Maybe you are an educationalist, you are a service provider, you are an industrialist, you are an entrepreneur, or you are a startup company. Thank you, sir.
Hi, can you hear me? Great. So, first of all, thanks once again. And, I think it gives me a great pleasure to be here and talk to you about what we do, and more importantly, in the context of the SME community that we are serving. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to run through a very short presentation. Don't worry. I know you have just had lunch, so I'm not going to bore you with lots of slides, but I'm going to use those slides as a reference points. And I think it will be great if we can interact and ask questions in terms of what would you like to know, and I'll be happy to answer them. So very quickly, I'll give an intro. Secondly, I will talk about our research findings in terms of what are the SMEs that they should be doing to become globally competitive. And the third is that we are also going to launch an initiative on behalf of the Federation of Indian SMEs. So because I stand here not only as the representative of Bharwani Advantage, but I also stand as a chairperson of the Federation of Indian SMEs, courtesy Chandrakantji. And through this collaboration, we want to launch a particular initiative that I will talk about. So these are the 3 things that I'm going to cover. Very good. So who are we? First of all, Bharwani Foundation is really a global philanthropy Silicon Valley-based foundation. It's started by Dr. Ramesh Wadhwani, who is Padma Shri. And like I was mentioning earlier, he has pledged $1.5 billion to this whole purpose of job creation. Our mission is to solve the problem of jobs. By any means, it's a very complex sort of problem to solve. And we want to do that through a mechanism of basically ensuring that we create jobs so that we make the SME engine robust. And we also, through that engine being robust, they should be in a position to hire better people, right? And that's the whole theory of change that we want to have. Can you I'll just move to the next slide. Very quickly about us, what we have done is that we have a unique model because we are a global philanthropy. We act like a startup, but our process excellence is that of trying to embody a lot of the MNC good practices. So that's what we do. And what we want to do is solve 3 kinds of problems that SMEs have. SMEs need management capability ramp up. They need upskilling as far as the top management and functional heads are concerned. So we empower them with the capabilities to accelerate their growth. So that's the first thing we do. Second thing we do is to diagnose what are the real issues in making them 2x, 5x, 10x. Unlike in Silicon Valley, Indian entrepreneurs actually have observed are pretty content with 2x growth, 25% growth, 20% growth in 20 years. But it's time that they should turn more ambitious. They turn more ambitious to think about 5x, 10x growth just like a startup. So what we do is we basically diagnose what are the constraints in making them 2x, 5x, and 10x in their top revenue growth. So that's the second thing we do. And the third thing is like, unfortunately, a lot of the consulting fraternity, and I come from the same fraternity, they love PowerPoint slides, they love intellectual jargon, they love complex theories, but very few people actually implement what they say, right? So one of the things that we do as a foundation is we do hand holding. When the rubber hits the road, we want to focus on SMEs, handhold them to transform their enterprises to actually realize their 5x, 10x dream, right? So that's what we do, hand holding in a 1-year implementation. So to repeat, we do 3 things. We empower them, we train them. Second thing, we diagnose what are the impediments in their growth. And third, we handhold them in implementation. Since we launched our initiative in 2019, this is what we have been able to do by God's grace. We have helped 1,000 SMEs globally, 500 SMEs in India. We have had a net promoter score of 73. Some of you might know what is net promoter score. It's a CSAT measure that is really a global measure. Usually 50 is a global world standard, and we have been able to achieve that. That's a great thing. We have been able to solve 70 problems of the SMEs of different kinds: growth, efficiency, people, technology, etc. And we have been able to impact 15,000 jobs in the last 2 to 3 years in 25 different industries in 50 different locations in India. And the way we do that is to 2 most important levers. As Chandrakanji was mentioning earlier, we share knowledge. We give you knowledge. We would rather teach you how to fish than giving you fish, because that's the most sustainable way of helping. Anybody can actually solve a problem and then get away, but we want to make you equipped enough to solve your problems on a regular basis. So we share knowledge, and we have curated advisor network. We have over 100 advisors, experts in their different fields, whom we consult and whom we engage for our SMEs, so that they are able to have knowledge and they're able to have people through which they are able to solve their problems. And we do a very strong implementation support. And all the things that you're seeing on the slide here, in terms of the digital assets, in terms of the articles, in terms of the frameworks, we have developed 50 different solution tools, which are analytical tools, which are DIY tools, so that if you're an entrepreneur and if you want to go to America, the US, and if you want to expand their business, the obvious questions are to size the opportunity, look at competitive landscape, how am I going to enter, how am I going to compete? And consultants would come to you and give you the framework, they will debate and discuss. But what we have tried to do is to automate it. So we have built an AI engine which will basically ask you a bunch of questions. And by answering those questions, we'll be able to diagnose your problems. And then at the back end, there is a lot of complexity and analysis which will churn answers for you in terms of what is it that you should do to enter a new territory. So this is just an example. But that's what we have done in the different kinds of tools that we have done. And I think, one of the things that we want to do, I'm going to skip certain slides in the interest of time. One of the things that we want to do in collaboration with SME Chamber of India, and that's the Indian SME Association Federation, is really to make you think like a globally competitive SME. It's no longer your location. It's no longer Pune. It's not Maharashtra. It's not India. It's global footprint. And I think it's time that you change your mindset. And that's the first thing that we need to do. And very happy to say that as a part of this initiative, we are going to launch an initiative whereby we are going to announce an award for the most globally competitive company, and we are going to do through a crowdsourcing mechanism. What that means is that we're going to learn from you what are the problems that you have in becoming globally competitive, and we will also invite a lot of the sponsors from all of you. Some of you could be lenders, some of you could be investors, some of you could be grant givers, and we are going to put that together and actually have a mechanism whereby we turn yourself from becoming competitive in Pune to becoming globally competitive. Now, I want to share very quickly what are the kind of research findings, the second topic that I talked about, what we learned from it. So we did a full sort of study of public limited companies, and you see a scatter diagram on the slide here. And we did a study of all the SMEs on the left-hand side scatter diagram before the pandemic, and on the right-hand side diagram is, during the pandemic, what happened. And you see the text out there, I don't know whether it is visible, but just to give you a perspective, most of the SMEs recorded a revenue CAGR of 20% plus and 20% minus, and minus 5% to plus 12% in EBIT levels before, while the pandemic was yet to hit them, right? And interestingly, when we looked at post-pandemic, they have suffered the CAGR of anywhere between minus 40% to plus 8%, right? So that's a massive revenue pool depletion. And look at the bottom lines. The bottom lines have suffered worse, minus 30% to plus 6%, which means by and large, you see the scatter diagram is really scattered on the right? And there you have a problem because, sorry, I think there's, one second. And what this told us is that there is a lot of extinction risk. All of us, I think we should address the elephant in the room. There is a lot of risk of extinction. There is a lot of risk of consolidation. Now, it's not only about surviving. I always say, think of growth as a mechanism of survival. It's not the other way around, right? So it's like a bicycle. You have to keep riding to move ahead. If you stay on the same spot just to sit on the bicycle, you're going to fall down. So when you think of survival, you have to think of growth. And given this picture, there will be very few organizations in reality who can actually make it. Now, what is it that India needs? India needs about 10,000 companies in the revenue bucket of basically $10 million to $30 million. 10,000 to 20,000 robust companies which are growing by 20 to 40% CAGR. We don't have them, right? We don't have them. We have 63 million MSMEs, of which 98% are below $3 million. And with this state of the economy, when you have such a skewness in the perspective, in the structure of the MSMEs, it's very hard for somebody to become globally competitive, right? So what we want to do is to really transform many of you who want to really change their trajectory and to transfer them from bottom of the pyramid to the mid of the pyramid and actually become a $30 million company in 3 to 5 years. Now, what is it that will take you there, right? So we did a sort of looked at a fact-finding thing, and we discovered there were a couple of things which were very, very important, and we did some math around it. What we said was that it requires a 25% of 12 million tax-paying Indian SMEs to cross 3 million threshold in 3 to 5 years, right? 25%. That's what is required for India to become competitive. That's what is required for all of you to become globally competitive. And that acceleration of competitiveness can happen in couple of learnings. Now I'm going to summarize that learnings verbally. One is that there is no choice than to basically upskill the top management, learn the skills of Industry 4.0, digital transformation, data analytics, AI, all the buzzwords that you are hearing and seeing. It's time to practice them. It's no longer a fancy word. You have got to practice, you have got to invest. Second thing is that it's always a balance between short term and long term. Those entrepreneurs who are investing in their learning, in their top management learning and second functional heads learning, are able to report 1,000 basis point more revenue growth than those who are not able to invest in learning. And so that's the second most imperative. The third thing is that you have got to practice an ability to delegate and plan your succession planning. Many of your organizations are thinking about first generation, second generation, third generation. If you look at some of the studies, a lot of the Japanese organizations, their average longevity is about 100 years or 200 years. If you look at a lot of the other global sort of SMEs, their longevity has been coming down for the last 70 years, right? In 1960s, average enterprise survived for 70 years. In 1990, it survived for about 23 years. In 2010, it survived for about 12 years. And today, an average enterprise will survive only for 7 years. That's dramatic. And if we want to beat this, it's very important that you change your mindset and think about becoming globally competitive by making scale not an option, but a necessity. And that can happen only if you practice sustainability in your management capabilities, because through which you're going to make sure it is sustainable, is not only dependent on you, right? Now, therefore, what we are trying to do here is to basically create a competition around all of you. And at this stage, I would like to invite all the SMEs which are in the buckets of 25 to 50 crores and then 50 to 250 crores to actually apply for that. And we will come back with the details in terms of how we're going to do it. But the idea is that we are going to form a committee whereby we are going to actually help you to become globally competitive. It's not about just like any other award when you invite the entries and the entries are backed up by your fact finding in the past, and then we make a selection and then give an award. This time we want to do it differently. What we want to do, and Chandrakanji and I discuss, is that we want to actually invite all the applicants, help the applicants to become successful and win the award, and through the transformation exercise that we will do with you for 1 year. So this is not a webinar, this is not an event, this is not just one discussion, it's a start of the revolution. If you want to participate, it's a 1-year journey whereby you will need to transform yourself with the help of our knowledge, our tools, our advisory connect, our PMO, through which we will be able to implement your recommendation. And we're going to form this committee, which you see on the slide out here. There will be people from different domains, specialists. We are going to invite a lot of the professionals which are sitting in the audience to come to us and write to us if they want to become a part of this revolution. We will love to look at your sort of background and see how you can become a participant in this decision committee. And then we're going to found the action groups. And then what we're going to do is to follow a process whereby we will invite the applicants, we will select all of you, we will then look at sponsors from all of you. There are banks sitting out here, there are different investors sitting out here potentially. We will invite you to give the grants and sponsor this whole initiative. And then we will think about basically announcing that and go forward. Now, very initially, we have put a very simple table out here in terms of what are the amounts that we are thinking. And very interestingly, the other key difference in this is that we want all the sponsors to think about sponsoring this SMEs to fund their expenditure towards advisors and experts. It's a discretionary expenditure. It's not towards the hard assets. It's towards gaining knowledge. If somebody wants to learn, is there any money available? We all know that SMEs are struggling with the cash reserves, right? And they want to become globally competitive. So if tomorrow if you have $1 for learning versus paying that $1 for raw material, I'm pretty sure you will pay that dollar for raw material. Right? So what we want to do through this award is to invite all of you to think about provision of that dollar for learning purposes, to pay for the advisors so that they learn, the SMEs learn and then become competitive over a period of time. Now, this is just the start of this whole concept that we have thought about. Chandrakanji and I have thought about this. Very happy to invite suggestions, ideas at this stage. This is not something which is finalized as yet, but I thought this was a great occasion to talk to you and tell you about this, share this knowledge with you, and we'll invite all the suggestions. So that's about it. So I'm going to conclude, and thank you. Any questions, happy to answer later. Thanks.
I have one question, sir. What we'll do, we'll ask the panel member to present their points and immediately followed by question. And then afterwards, maybe in general questions.
Perfect, thanks so
So
much.
3 questions I have, sir. Basically, taking SME to the global level, you mentioned one very important point, kind of a lifelong learning, invest in learning. Can you tell us 2 more points, key points, so they remember? Secondly, the kind of initiative you and Chandrakanji is going to launch, I suggest we'll form a group of SME Summit, SME Pune Summit, 18th February 2022, plus others are also allowed to join, so that immediately we can present 1-year calendar, what you have decided just now, so that those people are aware about the calendar and they can also submit their registration form if they want to be part of this innovative summit. So 2 more points we want.
Sure, thanks so much. In fact, this is one example. The latest presentation was given to you, but this is not the same presentation. And I had written down just
Briefly,
5
you
points.
sir tell us only 2
So
points.
2 more points, very
For
important.
people to remember.
Absolutely. Invest in learning is the first point. Second point is delegate, delegate, delegate. Don't think you are the only problem solver. There are lots of other people around. Make sure that you surround yourself with people who complement your capabilities so that you're able to solve the organization's problems. Second thing. And the third thing, very quickly, is that you need to make balance between technology and human interactions. The onslaught of technology is going to be a necessity. But adoption of technology has to be understood well, implemented well, and it has to be balanced with the right kind of human interaction. So to understand that balance, it takes again commitment and your willingness to basically talk to the experts to be able to understand that. So I would say broadly these 3 things are very important. There are many other points, but broadly these 3.
Thank you so much, sir. Big round of applause, friends, for such a wonderful interaction, wonderful presentation, and an opportunity. I suggest all of you should take this unique opportunity, decide it today only, and submit your suggestions or forms. Now I request Krishna Das ji to explain about the foreign trade development and what are the opportunities available. I think more emphasis should be given on export. We should reduce our import and increase our export. How to do that? What are the government schemes? What are the opportunities available in different sectors? It can be defense, it can be aeronautics, it can be in drone manufacturing, it can be in manufacturing of components related to high-tech products like mobile or allied devices. It can be indigenization of the medical equipments, which whatever we are importing, what all we can make in India, and the opportunities are available through series of portals, through series of government initiatives, exhibitions, etc., etc. So I suggest all of you to listen to sir carefully, and you can then independently contact sir also or through SME. Thank you so much, sir, for coming here, giving us an opportunity, and now request you to kindly share your important viewpoints.
Thanks a lot. DGFT is the organization which helps to enhance the exports. And export starts from DGFT. Import export code number is the first step which allows the people to export. And exports are two types. One is physical exports and second deemed exports. What is export? Export is the movement of services or goods, not from one country to another country. Even if it moves from one place to another place, it is also export. How it can be? The first export is physical exports, in which the exports move from one country to another country. And the second type of exports is deemed export. Deemed exports means within the country. What is the definition of deemed exports? If the supplies are made to 100% EOU units or SEZ, Special Economic Z units, both are deemed exports. But now special supplies made to SEZ has been categorized under physical exports now, as the realization is mostly affected in foreign exchange. So what are the benefits you are going to gain? In physical exports, there are two schemes which has been devised by the import-export policy. There are two licenses, different licenses, category licenses, which are issued by DGFT under Ministry of Commerce. One is advance license, second is export promotion capital goods, EPCG. Advance license is a scheme under which you can import any raw material. Hello? Under advance license, you can import any raw materials which are ultimately going to be used in the manufacturing, which will be in turn exported. If you are importing any raw material for the export purpose, then it can be imported under advance license without paying any custom duty. Without paying any custom duty. It is absolutely duty free. In advance license, anybody can apply for advance license. Manufacturer exporters or merchant exporters. Manufacturer exporters means the units which are exporting the item themselves. Merchant exporter means they are getting the exports, getting the materials exported, manufactured from the other manufacturing units. And here, as per the slide, DGFT is working under Ministry of Commerce, and it is implementing the FTDR Act and the import-export policy. Now the existing policy has already expired in 2020. Now due to pandemic, it went on up to 2022, and we are expecting a new import-export policy in the coming April, 22 April. Now the role of the DGFT has changed a lot. In 1990s up to 1922, the name of the office was known as Office of Chief Controller of Imports and Export. That time, all the export activities and all the trading activities were regulated or controlled by the Central Government of India. Then in 1992, the liberalization came into place and the liberalization process started. Now we are playing a role of regulator, and this role is also going to be changed in the next policy. Now we have a facilitator of exports. Now, as far as the schemes are concerned, advance license scheme has been explained to you. Now the second license is EPCG license, Export Promotion Capital Goods. There also you are allowed to import any capital goods, duty free, without paying any custom duty, for only export purpose. The machinery which are going to be imported is to be used for the manufacturing the export items. And it should be, there are some obligations. When the license is issued, you have to make the export obligation fulfillment within the stipulated period. In the EPCG, it is 6 years, and the advance license, it is 18 months. So first of all, we'll talk about advance license. In advance license, the license is issued for the period of 12 months. Then for imports, and the validity can be extended further for 6 months and another 6 months. Within 12 months, you can import, and within 18 months, you have to fulfill the export obligation, which is imposed in the license. And it will be as per the details imposed in the license. And except advance license and EPCG, the deemed exports come into picture. And what are the benefits you are going to get against deemed exports? As I told you, explained to you earlier, deemed exports are the exports supplies made to 100% UAU. And here the role of SMEs is coming into picture. What is SMA? As per the export target fixed by the Prime Minister of India, $400 billion by this March 2020. We have achieved, as per the reports from Ministry of Commerce, we achieved around about 335 in the last quarter. Now, last quarter is left out now, the third quarter I am talking about. Now, January to March, the figures are yet to come. So, we have been moving in that direction, and we are hopeful that the target will be achieved. And here, SME, there are two factors which come into picture as far as SMEs are concerned. Mostly in advance license and EPCG, the exporters are taking the licenses and getting the licenses invalidated for the domestic procurement. Here the domestic procurement can be made by the SMEs. In Atmanirbhar also, the SMEs can produce, manufacture, and the excess materials, excess products can be exported. And whatever licenses are invalidated for the procurement of domestic procurement, that much import, that much foreign exchange is reserved, because instead of importing from outside, incurring the foreign exchange, the exporters can procure the material from the SMEs or the manufacturers who are domestically manufacturing. So one way it is protecting or saving the foreign exchange. Instead of importing from outside, they are procuring from the manufacturing units within the country. So we are saving that much foreign exchange to that extent. And second thing, SMEs can manufacture, and excess manufacturing item can be exported. There also we are giving the incentives. As I told you, deemed exports in which the supplies are made to, supplies are effective to 100% EOU, there whatever duty is incurred on that particular supplies will be refunded, or you need not pay. If against the supply, against the advance license or against the EPCG, if the materials are supplied, then you need not pay any duty. Basic duty or GST is refunded, your basic duty is saved, that will not be paid. So the vital part of the SMEs is very, very, very important. And here, as we have been now making an action plan, 15 districts are coming under Pune DGFT. And for the last 4 to 9 months, we have been conducting a lot of meetings in respect of export hubs. We are trying to make one district, one product. And 15 districts which are covered under Pune DGFT, we have conducted all the meetings in all the 15 districts, and we are in the process of now finalizing the action plan. This action plan is prepared with the association of all the stakeholders, not only DGFT, the chairman of this particular committee, and the collectors, with the help of the collectors of the particular districts and the other stakeholders, GST and the agricultural units, agricultural export promotion councils, and all the other stakeholders. We have been preparing the action plan, and it will be finalized within a month's time. The action plan will be sent to the Ministry of Commerce, which will be finalized by the DGFT, and it will be sent to, one copy will be sent to DGFT and one copy will be sent to Ministry of Commerce directly. And those action plans are going to be formulated and implemented and incorporated in the import-export policy, which is going to come in the April 2022. So now within the next policy, DGFT has been expecting to change our role from the regulator to the facilitator. And we have been hoping a lot of schemes which are designed, which will be designed for DGFT, in which we will be able to help you in enhancing the exports. As far as incentives are coming, there are concerned, there are two export incentives. One is post-export incentive and one is pre-export incentive. Post-export incentives is coming under Chapter 3. That is mercantile, MEIS and SCIS, which have been done away with now. MEIS are available only for the exports made up to December 2020. And now it has been, now new scheme has been designed by, it is known as DOTF, and that is, will be governed by the customs, not by DGFT.
Krishna ji,
And the MSME,
sorry to interrupt you, sir. We have all these policies and we can forward the link to all the participants. My important question to you, sir, will be what are the schemes available for SME in terms of incentives for exports? If you can throw some light on this, it will be really useful for today's audience.
in the case of SMEs, the same, these two schemes are available now, advance license and EPCG, in which they can import duty free. But the duty free imports are to be used in the manufacturing of the exports. Whatever imports are made to be used in the manufacturing process of a particular item, and that should be exported. These are the two schemes which are available, at present available now, EPCG, advance license and EPCG. So MSME units, whatever they are manufacturing, if they are going to export, and for the manufacturing of the export item, if any material is required to be imported from outside, from any other country, they can use this license. That is called as advance license for raw materials and EPCG for capital goods.
Some SME, if they want to start their manufacturing the products for export purpose, is there any scheme of the government where there are number of SIC units available, either of public sector companies or other SIC companies with the bank because of their NPA? Is there any scheme available to the existing SME that they can use that infrastructure facility for the manufacturing of their particular product on a large scale basis without any investments? Because on one side, there are huge infrastructures which are required to be created and huge investment is involved in this situation, particularly uncertainty we can say, and from sustainability point of view. So there are, at the same time, many SIC units are also there. So is there any mapping done that SIC units in the vicinity can be given for use of manufacturing of products to reduce our import and increase our export? Is there any scheme available?
No, in this is only the two schemes are available, advance license and EPCG, under which they can import the items, the raw materials required for the manufacturing.
Because very fundamental purpose of management is to optimum utilization of their resources. So their own resources as well as the resources which are lying idle for years. So why can't we bring such resources and make it open or make it available to the people who are interested in indigenizing some products? So maybe you can put up this proposal for the benefit of all the SMEs across the country.
These points have been very well taken up in the meeting, in the exporter meetings, and all these things have been formulated, and it will be incorporated in the action plan, which will be taken at the time of making the new policy, import-export policy.
Yeah. Thank you so much, sir.
And these points have been SME, whatever problems which they have been facing, have been taken into consideration at the time of meeting, which I have attended in the exporter meetings, and all these points have been incorporated, and an action plan, a total action plans will be prepared under the chairmanship of DGFT, and that will be sent to the Ministry of Commerce. And we hope that these points will be very well taken up by the Ministry of Commerce and will be formulated and incorporated in the policy, import-export policy, which is yet to come in the April 2022, which will be for 5 years, and which will be renewed in every year.
Question 3, as usual, 3 questions we have decided. What we discuss about all these tangible exports in terms of materials, goods, raw material, or import of components which are fully finished, or they are imported here and assembled here. In general, up till now, that was the export and import. But after the emergence of IT in India particularly, a lot of knowledge resource is also being exported in terms of services. At the same time, a lot of manpower also being deputed or going abroad. So why can't we also think of, when we say make in India, so work in India for them and also live in India? Is such policy is under consideration? Make in India, live in India, and work in India for people who are out of India.
No, once the Make in India starts, no, once it develops, then people will be here only. They will not be.
A lot of knowledge wealth is being exported in the form of software, technology transfer, manpower. Many people are going abroad and sharing their knowledge wealth to those countries which otherwise should have been spent here. Particularly IT sector companies and tech companies or high tech companies, I can say. So this is just a point because most of these companies are from manufacturing as well as service sector providers.
Service sectors, we have been, you see, there was a scheme which is known as SEIS, Service Export Incentive Scheme.
Yeah.
That is a post-export incentive scheme. Once the services are rendered, they get the scripts against which they can import any item which is used for that particular unit. But that has been done away with now. All the post-export benefits are fading away now. The government is in favor of giving only incentives which are required for the exporters now. Because in the interest of the Atmanirbhar and the Make in India, they are always in the process of, the government is in the process of, Ministry, especially Ministry of Commerce, in the process of initiating the policy towards the production, manufacturing within the country. And on one side, this SMEs, the SME units can substitute the imports. As I explained to you, instead of importing from outside, the exporters can very well procure domestically the raw materials which are used, which otherwise they would have imported from outside, again using the license, again dual license and all. And in EPCG also, whatever machinery, capital goods they used to import earlier from the country, now they are getting the license invalidated and procuring it within the country. So like that, the SME unit, the role of the SME units is important now. It has been going up, and once the production starts and it increases, accordingly they can export more and substitute the imports which otherwise normally the exporters are importing from outside now. So again, the licenses which are importing from outside can be very well substituted by the manufacturing products of the SMEs now. So that is what we are making Indian Atmanirbhar are looking forward to now.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so
Thanks
much
a lot.
for your
Have a nice time.
wonderful presentation, sir. Thank you so much. Big round of applause, friends. Now we have a person who is very innovative. His name is Mr. Vinayak. He is again a founder, MD of the Temgiri Consultancy related with the exports. He said there is no knowledge required for import or export policy. And here we were discussing everything about the export policy. How he has automated, what is his experience, what are the types of the products and services being exported, where is the scope, and how to find out exactly the opportunities available for exports. Is there any portal available or government site available, or the list of components which are being imported is available? So over to you, sir. Thank you so much.
Good afternoon. First 2 or 3 minutes, I'll just give the brief about the what are the documents available. Okay. First 2 minutes, I will share with you what are the documents available for export and import. Then I will share what are the challenges of the export and import. Then we'll give our solution why we do not need to learn export and import. Is that okay? Yeah. I have given already my introductions, founder of 24 Mile, having more than 15 years of experience in the field of export and import. Plus I am a 6 Sigma Black Belt. And very happy to share that we have got the national level recognizes with the presence of Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji on 15 January 2022. And we are a National Startup Award recognized portal. What output you will get it within these 10 minutes of sessions. You will get output of your export department, 50% human hours will be optimized and 10% exim and logistic cost will be optimized. But plus, total export and import process will be in place. Being a logistic person, I have to talk in numbers, so I have given the numbers here. This will be the output of these sessions. And there are I have just given the list of the invoices. There are pro forma invoices, GST invoice, custom invoice, commercial invoice. Why I have mentioned this? Because generally exporter and importer, they use only custom and commercial invoice as a one invoice, but there are two invoices and two invoices having a different objectives. Also, there are pre-shipment documents, custom invoice, packing list. I'm just going through it, and then I'll give the solution. Fumigation, LUT, EVD, e-way bill, marine insurance, and plus there is other documents required for the export, import-export code, last shipping bill, AD registration. In the case of chemical shipment, MSDS and COA. In the case of engineering shipments, product catalog. These are the documents required to process the export clearance. Also, there are, after doing the export clearance, again there is a post-shipment documents, commercial invoice, packing list, bill of lading, marine insurance, certificate of origins. So these are the documents required for the post-shipment. So my next question to you, suppose you have delivered the material to the customer end and you have received the payment from the overseas client. So is export process is completed? Yes or no? You have delivered the material and you have received the payments. Student, is export process is completed? Yes or no? Loudly. So again answer is no. Because after doing the custom clearance and delivering the material and receiving the payment, process is not completed because there are some statutory compliance, DGFT compliance, bank compliance that has to be completed, otherwise the export is not completed. So these are the submission of FIRC to bank, EBRC, because EBRC is linked to the RBI, custom and local bank. Then application of incentive, as sir has told, there is a road tab, duty drawback. So these are the required. Otherwise, you will get the EDPMS and IDPMS report, that is Export Data Processing Monitor System alert, you will get it. Same way, for import, there is a commercial invoice, packing list, bill of lading, technical documents. Again, when we receive the material and we have done the remittance, even though import process is not completed, again there is a statutory compliance. So and again there is a statutory compliance we have to complete it. So these are the documents required to complete. Can you remember within a 2 or 3 minutes? Do you all remember all documents? You do not need to remember all documents. Now we will discuss what are the challenges of the exporters. To export any import, import any shipments, there are more than 24 agencies are involved. One of the agencies is DGFT. Can you understand the DGFT? It will take 30 days. If you do the full day course, then it will take 30 days. Then there is a customs law. Then there is a RBI, because RBI is also involved. Then there is a loading activity. Then there is a transportation activity. Then there is a CFS. Then there is a port, custom clearance, GST, local bank, marine insurance, container yard, FEMA, Foreign Exchange Management Act, ECGC, Export Credit Guarantee Corporation, pre-shipment, post-shipment, finance, statutory compliance, documentation, shipping process, port movement, free trade agreement. So these are the agencies are involved. Then and right now there are no person in the market who knows everything. Even though people are having, right now I am also having more than 17 years of experience in the field of export and import. Still I am learning the export and import. Export process and documentation. So again, if you want to be an expert into export and import process and documentation, again you have to do you need to give your 15 to 17 years? But no, because it is a process activity, it is not a value added activity, if I am not wrong. It is a process activity. And next challenge is speed and accuracy. Suppose you are having a 1,000 crore export company and you have to prepare minimum 20 to 30 shipments in a day, then you need speed and accuracy, because you have to prepare pre and post shipment documents. At least for one shipment we have to prepare minimum 10 to 15 documents. So that you need speed and accuracy. Then there is a heavy mail communication between exporter, importer and freight forwarder. Then all exim document to be maintained 7 to 8 years. Challenges to get lowest possible logistic cost. Due to this pandemic, there is a lot of fluctuation in the freight cost. Challenges to get update with the new notification of foreign trade policies, exim, and there is no analysis data report. So all these challenges will be covered in 24-mile digital platform. Right now I'll just show you the if you want to send the first thing, when you get the export order, you want to send the shipment, then first thing we have to do is, that is request for freight competitive. You need freight quotation and you have to select the freight forwarder. That is your first criteria. So we have developed a system, just fill up the one form and you can send request for freight competitive to 7 freight forwarder. Then you will get a reply from freight forwarder. After getting the reply, you will get this is the output. Gita Overseas Freight Forwarder is having a 42,700, then Ali Speed is having a this, then Alcargo Logistics having this. You will get a this breakup, which I was to do when I was working. So this breakup you will get it. On that basis you can select the best one. Again there is a tracking system is there. I am going part. Again there is a one form. when you fill up the one form, by filling up the one form, you can prepare around 24 documents. These are the documents you can prepare. Custom invoice, packing list, GST, EVD, self-declaration, all the documents. Then there is a post-shipment documents. These are, how does it look? This custom invoice, this looks. Then there is a shipping marks is automatically coming. So these are the documents available, and it is a document management system is there. All documents are incorporated here. You do not, report is there. Report is automatically given. Even we can identify whether incentive is received or drawback is received. If you can see the bigger organization, even they do not track the incentive. It has to be mentioned that this amount of incentive is coming to the balance sheet, but nobody is mentioning because that is nowhere is recorded. So these are the challenges which has covered. So coming to the back. So what is the benefit of the 24-mile digital platform? You will get a total exim solution under one roof. You can optimize your cost by 10%. Easy to delegate. Suppose anybody leaves or anybody is on leave the job. You can easy to delegate. Document management system is there. You can prepare 26 documents just by filling up the one form. And way forward, we are also going to right now there is no digital signatures available. That also we are going to all documents will be digitalized, and checklist and next level integration is we are going to file the shipping bill through our system, and next last one is also we are going to integrate our system with the bank so that EBRC and all documents will be automatically will be with the bank system. So thank you. This was my presentation. Thank you very much. If you have any questions, you can ask.
Thank you, sir. One question, sir.
Yes.
You mentioned everything about the automation in export particularly.
Right.
Filling one form and generating 26 reports
Right.
which are required. Is there any audit required after generation of these 26 documents? Maybe you must have used some...
Audit is required around, I think, 7 to 8 years we have to maintain this document. So this system is saving all the documents. So just by giving the one click, you can find out the all documents.
Okay. And this is a cloud-based software?
It is a cloud-based software.
Okay. And may I note the budgetary price for information?
If your turnover is, thank you very much, sorry, these are good questions. If your export-import turnover is 1 to 10 CR, then it is just 800 rupees per month. This is the charges. And if it is above 10 crore, then it will be 1,000 rupees or 1,200 rupees. It is proportionately it will go. Our objective is to, because you all knows ki MSME's contribution to India's export is 48%. And there will be around 3 lakhs to 4 lakh MSME, they are the exporters. So we want to reach to that level, and we want to give their services because they are the real contributor of the economic growth.
So 800 rupees per shipment?
Per month.
Per month, irrespective of any number of shipment?
Irrespective of 1 to 10 CR per annum exports.
Turnover.
It will increase proportionally. Subscription
So
charges.
I do say 10 shipments in a month, still the
Still there.
price is 800 rupees.
Friday is 800.
This is only for export documentation.
Export and import both.
Import also?
Yeah.
Okay. So any such training module you have for the benefit of the students who are pursuing their BBA in international business or maybe masters in international business?
My model is do not learn the export and import. Because I am also management graduate from IMDR. It is a Pune's first management college. So I told my director, ma'am, do not need to learn international trade because we have developed the system. Sorry.
No, but basic knowledge is required. For example,
right.
You take any particular field, even including IT or AI or maybe interior designing also for that matter. Everything is computerized, everything is available. But still you go through that 3D
But if you go through the system, even I have a live example, I have a fresh graduate. They can learn the export and import within a 1 day, I can tell you. Even I can teach you that graduate within a 1 hour, I can teach you the export.
So I can invite you for a 1-day seminar?
Yeah, no problem. Not 1 day, 1 or 2 hours are more than enough.
Okay. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you.
Any question you have afterwards? Maybe you can just we will complete. Okay, go ahead. You have mic with you? Or you may come forward, please.
Can your module be integrated with SAP and Oracle and things like that?
It can be integrated to the SAP and all ERP system. It will be integrated.
Yeah, first class. Thank you so much.
And next target is, right now I am giving the offer of 800 rupees. Next target is per shipment we are going to save around 5,000 rupees when we integrate the checklist or custom clearance activity to our system. That is our target, and it will be completed within 1 or 2 months. That is our next target. Then it will be per shipment, you will get a value addition of 4 to 5,000 rupees saving.
So we are basically into outsourced chief information service provider
Okay,
consulting firm.
Yeah.
So I'll be connecting with you to know more little about the product and how we can help together.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Welcome. Thank you, sir.
These documents for air shipment also, sea shipment
Both.
also, any kind of shipment.
You can air shipment, sea shipment, any types of product, because documents are the same.
Okay. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you.
Now we have with us Ambika Banotra ma'am. Thank you. Chief Representative of NRW Global Business.
Yeah, so very interesting session. Once again want to thank Mr. Salunke for organizing such a one-day workshop. Coming towards the SMEs. Before I start my presentation, I have few points which I wanted to share with you, and these are the inputs from today's session which we had. Yeah. So we have heard about the financing. SMEs have already heard about financing. Then we have just right now we heard about the export. Now what left? Now what left is the technology and a global outreach. Of course, we have representative from US also, but yeah, since I'm representing the German state of North Rhine-Westphalia, so before I tell what we do, I want to share with you what is this region, what is present in this region, what are the strengths of this region. Honestly telling, the strengths, if I discuss with you, are the companies which are sitting here in India. For example, we have Henkel, ThyssenKrupp, or these are the companies which are from this area, North Rhine-Westphalia, and currently working in India. And other way around, also we have Tata, Wipro, Bharat Forge, who started as SME and now is as a major company is there. So let's start with that, because SME, when you say it's a backbone of every economy, whether it's a developed country or the developing one. And in Germany also, every second euro for the German economy is contributed by SME. And that's why I'm here today. Although, it will be difficult for me to answer all your questions, and I'll request to ask me very simple questions so that I can answer those. But yes, let me start my presentation with that. Yeah, so when I say North Rhine-Westphalia, I doubt that all of you would be knowing about that. But let me mention few cities of this region, and then of course you'll get connected. So the major cities of this region are Düsseldorf, Cologne, Dortmund, Bonn, Aachen. Out of 20,000 students from India who goes to Germany, 5,000 are in these universities. So these are also the strengths which we are having. Then coming to this region, it's known as the heartbeat of Europe, rightly so, and you'll get to know there are almost 120 Indian companies are already present there. So this is the region. Germany has 16 states, and North Rhine-Westphalia, it contributes towards 20% GDP of Germany. Although you don't need to worry about that, because the GDP, these figures are of course good to hear. But what is there for you? What you can achieve. Investing in region, or at least exploring this region. Let me come back to that. So yeah, this region is, as I mentioned, is the heartbeat of Germany, and it's very logistically or very strategically located in because it connects to various countries, like we can see Netherlands is there, Paris is there. So it's very, all the other countries as well as cities are in the nearest approach, you can reach there. Then the population of this state is almost 17.9 million, which is, I don't know, maybe almost equivalent to Bangalore or Mumbai. Yeah, so once again, I know this, we have a short of time, so I'll just move it further. Again, we were talking about SMEs. So there are 7 lakh SMEs present in this region, North Rhine-Westphalia. And post-pandemic, we have observed that all these SMEs, they are ready to integrate, they're ready to work with Indian SMEs. And that is also one reason, the NRW is already there. They are already having successful businesses. All the countries are already, working there. The companies are moving there. But why now? Why suddenly they thought, okay, we should have one office in India as well? because Indian companies are approaching there, they are able to solve their problem statement of these SMEs as well. So there is a lots of scope for you to collaborate with these SMEs. So when we talk about any business, we need to know, okay, what is the port connectivity, air connectivity, rail connectivity. So all these are there. They have already have the international airports. Duisburg is the very famous harbor there, where currently Plug Power is the I think US company who has already started the innovation center there for hydrogen fuel. Then these are the sector, I'll just quickly go through all these slides. So these are the main sector where we can see, collaboration from your side. If you have some product where you think, okay, fine, we can collaborate with India, with the German SMEs, these are the main sectors. Then since it's also industrial heartland, it's the industrial region where we can see, the biggest the industrial employers are there. Employment is also generated there with, of course, again, the figures comes with 321 billion euro sales are generated in this region. Then again, we are coming back to the SMEs number, and that rightly so, and which I've already mentioned why. These are the major sector which now we are concentrating, which the German companies are looking towards India especially for the solution. So when we say all these technology, Industry 4.0, it's a birth of Germany, and that's why we are here. So if you have solution for these regions or these sector, please feel free to come to me. Then these are emerging opportunity. We talk about, green energy, zero CO2. We are already working on that. By 2030, NRW will be declared as, carbon CO2 free region. And that's why they are intensifying their research, their commitment towards hydrogen and fuel cells. And this is again one slide where you can see what their agenda is, what their vision about the hydrogen and renewable energy. These are the global player. When I say global player, there are already 20,000 global companies are present in this region, and these are few of the names there present in this region. Coming to the Indian companies, as I mentioned, these companies are already present there. When we talk about the logistics, when we talk about IT, ITS, ICT, healthcare, companies are doing well there. So when I was talking to Mr. Salunki, he was telling Ambika, what is there for the SMEs there? What are you offering? So what I'm telling is that these are the clusters or networks are very, very important for you to notice, along with one more aspect which I'll share you later. So these are the cluster networks where the German companies, the government and the SMEs work together with startups and try to find out the solution. For example, if the one bigger company is having some problem statement, they'll definitely share on the same platform with the small companies, and then they'll try to collaborate and work together. So you don't need to, the major company also don't need to go here and there, and SMEs also don't need to go here and there. You can collaborate and work together. So if you reach out to these clusters, they'll really help you. Then of course the fair, these are the important fairs which I think many of you would already be visiting because of packaging, all the other aspects. Now this is another digital hubs. Digital hub is also, it's not very old initiative, recently it started. This is a platform which is funded by the federal as well as the state government, and it supports a big time the startups actually. Startup can be benefited out of this digital hub because it connects academia, it connects the major companies and SMEs, and of course by the end the startups as well. These are the research network, which are again, one of the strengths of NRW region. We have Aachen University there, then the German Aerospace Center, which is called DLR, that's also present there, along with the Fraunhofer and Max Planck Institutes. And again, the universities, I'll just run through this. So for the startups also, we have certain programs. These are the main startups which are already present there. These are the programs which are there to help the startup. Whether you are funding or whether you got connect, whether you got academia cooperation, these are the major programs running by them. These are few of the startups which are really famous. Incubator programs. Yeah, so now what do we do? Why I'm here, So what we do is that if you know what you are having, then why and where I will solve. Or my people in the Dusseldorf, they are sitting, they will solve. So if you understand, today, um, Mr. Badwe told a very nice thing actually, that when you want to start something, you have to come out of your comfort zone. And that is one, I would not say problem, but little bit hesitancy from our side, our SMEs. They think, why should I go there? Somebody should come to me. And that's why I'm here, okay? So if you have certain solutions, it doesn't have to be very big product. If you have certain small product which can solve their problem, which can be used in their manufacturing, IoT, digitalization, please feel free to reach us and we will tell you where and why. And the next point which I wanted to add, Germany, when we say, everybody think, oh, it will be expensive. No, innovation comes with affordability. So if you want to start in the bigger region, where you want to have excellent connects and all that, that is also there. But if you want to also benefit from the smaller regions where the living cost is not that expensive and all the cost effective solutions are there, those regions are also present there. So yes, so I'm here. If you need any help from me, I'll be there. So NRW Global Business will be helping you to connect to all these organizations depending upon your sectors. And we are a very new organization in India, and our global business is supported by Ministry of Economic Affairs from North Rhine-Westphalia region. Yeah, so that's it. Thank you so much. Yeah, it's a simple one. Yes.
How SME collaboration between India and Germany can take place through your organization?
Can you hear me? Yeah. So SME collaboration, I made one point also. I mentioned Tata, Wipro. They are our flag bearer there, Indian flag bearer there. But when we talk about the small company, recently I wanted to have a recording also, but I couldn't manage in short span of time. There's a small company called Epitome Electronic GmbH, founded in 2020 during the pandemic times. And Mr. MS Deshmukh, their company headquarters is in Solingen. Solingen is a very small, say the town there in North Rhine-Westphalia. So they are helping the major companies to find their solution. So I have only two thoughts. I'll leave you with the two thoughts that, two things are very much important. First is you to be closer to your client. We say Henkel is here, ThyssenKrupp is here, but they're working, or Bosch, or whoever, whichever region you want to select in Germany. They're working with OEMs. They're working with the companies who are providing them the components. The bigger company doesn't become big on their own. They need suppliers, they need supporters, they need distributors. So one chance would be to be closer to your clients, be closer to your OEM. And the second would be what we have observed in the recent time, especially during post-pandemic, the digitalization. We say Industry 4.0 is from Germany, IoT is from Germany, but the digitalization, they have an immense need of digitalization where these 7 lakh SMEs are not able to handle, and they're looking towards Indian companies to help them. So I think I'll leave you with the thought.
This is offline, going there and doing collaboration kind of a thing, or it can be done in virtual mode also.
Sir, collaboration, you were telling that make in India and be in India. So thoda sa to bahar nikalna padega na comfort zone se, matlab
No, in terms of startup, why I'm asking you, SME, you answered.
No, sir,
you answered my question.
I'll give you one example there also. See, and your question is very right, because now also we are working in hybrid mode. So if you want to start a company, if you want to start a GmbH, and which we also tell that you should start like a private limited in India, you can start with 5 people also, with 2 people also, 2 members also. You have to go there on the C visa. You don't need a special visa for that. You can start with C visa. Start a company can be done if you give a power of attorney to some of your lawyer and all that. Those will be our headaches. When if SMEs are telling what to do, and it's as I'm telling, it's not easy to go in a different land and start all the things together. So if they want to start online, as sir wanted to know, yes, it's possible. Then in that case, you have to give a power of attorney. You will have a GmbH, which will use as your address or your name to connect to the other customers. And yeah, you can control here, but kabhi to jana hi padega nahi, like thoda sa research ke liye and all that. Because what I suggest is, I understand we are doing very well in India, and that's why whether it's US, whether it's Germany, they're looking towards India. But we have to improve. We have to do. I'll give you one example. German SMEs, they spend 3% of their revenue in research. I don't know how many of them are, how many of us are doing in India. So 3%, whether it's a small company or the big company, whenever the revenue is generated next year, 3% they spend in research and academia so that they can improve their product every year. So that I would say is required, that we can learn from them. In fact, there's a company called Festo, they spend 8%. So that I would not say you should go there. Coming to digital twins, we were talking, right?
Question is slightly wrongly interpreted. My question was, sir, for example, we have engineering students, management students, and they are in say final year, for example. Can they do some startup venture sitting in India with virtual immersion? Means the person or mentor, he guides them when they are sitting in India,
Yes, sir.
and
I mean,
they provide the workaround solutions, particularly IT
I'll
or
give you one
ITES.
example. Flutura, I don't know whether you have heard about the Flutura, offers digital twin. They are into digital. They are in India, very much in India, but they're working for two German companies. I mean, maybe more, Henkel and Bosch. So, if the startup have a proper solution, and which they see, because first for them they have to see what German companies required, and if they have a solution, it is possible, very much possible. And I think in coming days, as you thank you for asking this question, in coming days these things will start, where more and more German companies also look toward India, not only for the cost factor but also for R&D. So those things are also coming. Yeah.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
One small product of rich board, it's hardly 12 paisa, and then gradually we grown, and for first 10 years the journey was very challenging, very struggling, and we were totally dependent on one customer, that is our Bajaj Auto. But gradually when we started about the expansion, and when we were approaching for finances to the various financial institutions, they were asking about our future plans of diversifying, and then we define our strategy, and then gradually we added more customers like LG, Honda, Hero, Volvo, Eicher, JLR, and now today we are dealing with 40 customers. You name OEM, and we are supplying to them. Recently, we have entered into aftermarket also. So we have three products: suspensions, helmets, and mirrors. Where we are doing some aftermarket business also. For Budway Engineering, we have four core values which I want to share with you, because we are discussing our entrepreneurial journey and entrepreneurship today. So I thought I must share the core values which we are following at Budway Group. So at Budway Group, at our heart is now. I don't know whether any company in India or somewhere they are following core value as now. So what we think as a philosophy for now, that we should be so alert, we should be so hands-on. So whatever customer is asking us, whatever customer is demanding, we should prepare to fulfill that activity that day. So to just give an example, see, we are doing painting on plastics. So whatever this two-wheeler components, plastic components you are seeing for Bajaj vehicles, that we are manufacturing, and we are doing painting also. So in a day, being you are see as a customer, you see the other side of the table. Customer is very choosy nowadays, and lot many quality norms are become very stringent, and there is lot of demand as far as variety, design, all these things are concerned. So at our paint shop, we have to change 13 shades of paint in a day, and this process is very critical. But with no excuse, we have to fulfill those demands of customers every day, because after all, OEMs are also depends on the market fluctuation. They also have to satisfy their customers. So this is why within a day we do this activity, and when we want to satisfy, we want to gain the customer delight. So innovation, excellence, customer delight, these are our four core values at Budway Group. Customer for customer, we always treat the customer as God, and I feel as entrepreneurs, maybe you are dealing with B2B business or B2C business, I think you must give that much priority to your customers, because when customer is happy, then only you can do your business at in a finest way. uh, while during our this entrepreneur journey, we must understand that we are living in VUCA world. There is lot of volatility, uncertainty, complexity and ambiguity in our whole journey. Because in Marathi we have Ramdas Swami has said one shlok, Jagi sarva sukhi asa kon hai. So even though we are entrepreneurs, we are gaining some profits, but but we are not at comfort at any given point of time. Every day we have to face volatility, uncertainty, complexity and ambiguity. So as entrepreneurs, we must be ready to face these challenges. uh, when it comes to entrepreneur journey, what I feel, knowledge, do you have your knowledge of your product? Do you have knowledge to sell your product? So means you have the marketing skills, the negotiation skills, uh, to do your business in finest way. That is what I feel. Time management, time management is very important as far as any entrepreneur is concerned, because see, uh, we have limited time for a day, and we have to manage lot many things. So the most important thing as a women entrepreneur and a director of the group I face is like work life balance. Being women, we have lot many challenges, because we have to manage our house also. We have to manage various activity as a household activities, and we have to manage our work also with greater efficiency. Because you can't tell any of your customers or any of your visitors that I have that much of work and I couldn't, I was not able to, or I will not able to, I am not able to just have meeting with you. So you have to be very well equipped, and and generally women have one guilt always. They want to do everything on their own, but I feel here lot many women are here. So I just want to share with you, if you want to start your women, entrepreneur journey, or if you are entrepreneur, try to learn one thing: offload your workload. So maybe if you are, say, you are dealing with your household activities, and if you are dealing with your office works, maybe try to acquire as much help you require, so that you can prioritize your work, and you can do topmost priority to your challenges, and you can resolve and you can come with some solutions. So that is what I just want to share with you. As a women entrepreneur, we have lot many opportunities, because see, now women are coming, working in every sector. Women are working in manufacturing industry, they are into services, they are into travel. Now defense, government has given opportunities for women to work in defense also. So, and I think bouncers have been appointed for our home minister, our Amit Shah ji. So Lord Miss and Supriya Sule ji also, they have taken now women bouncers. So see, wherever you can see now, pilots are there. So in every area, women are playing a bigger role. So I feel yes, women are doing best, and I must thankful to Chandrakant sir for giving me an opportunity to serve as the chairperson of Women Entrepreneurship Development Cell program. So under that program, I just want to make one announcement today. Like we met today, and we have one day full conference. So same way, in the month of April, we are conducting one Women Entrepreneurship Summit, wherein the whole focus will be given on women entrepreneurs, and accordingly we will share all our details. Chandrakant sir and our committee members will design a program, and we will try to connect with you. Though it's a women entrepreneurship development program, but whatever the best support we will require from our counterparts, may that is most welcome. Because though we always focus and we say about women empowerment, but इन मराठी वी से संसार रथाची दोन चाकं आहेत, पुरुष आणि स्त्री. सो दोघांनाही एकमेकांची गरज आहे. त्यामुळे आपण त्या दृष्टीने सगळे पुढे जाऊया. सो मला एक वाटतं की हे फॉर दिस होल बिझनेस इकोसिस्टम टू लर्न वी मस्ट हॅव नॉलेज ऑफ 4M, man, machine, money and methodology. So we must be well equipped. We must learn, because learning aptitude is the most important part. One must be student for whole the life. The time is changing so fast, the technology is changing so fast. So but 10 years back, if I would have been asked whether you can use digitalization for your factory processes, or if you have to use mobile to share your pictures, I might not have given any reply or response to this question, but technology has given lot many things to us, and today we are into digital era, and so we are speaking since morning about digitization and for industry 4.0, which is an integral part of our journey. So that is what I want to say, the change is constant and we must learn and we must have that learning aptitude. When it comes to women entrepreneurship, uh, across country, the participation of women, India has 31.6% contribution of women in working areas. USA has 45%. Sri Lanka has 35%, Brazil is 35%. So I think now we look at our earlier generation, where our mothers and grandmothers were working, but there was very few percentage. But nowadays, lot many freedom and good support is being given by our families, and that's why now the percentage of working women has increased. So Sakshi is a good example. She is a member of SME Chamber of India. Globally in 2020, less than half of the women participated in labor force, and that is decreased from 15%, and nearly 3 in 4 men are participating in labor force, down 80% in 1990. So women representation in of all participant all parties in all areas has increased nowadays. What are the characteristics of women? Women are multitasking. They have good management skills. They are very dedicated and committed. So whatever the best characteristics we have, we can utilize for our business. And what we lack, that we have many innovative ideas as a women, but sometimes we don't understand to commercialize that innovative ideas. So I think SME Chamber can play a bigger role in that, making our innovative ideas to turn around into commercialization. And I feel for every person, every entrepreneur, I can conclude my speech with Uddaret Atma Atmanam. So what Gita tells us, you have to be your best friend to grow in your own area. Thank you for patience listening. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am. I have a question for you. You said जगी सर्व सुखी कोण आहे, विचारी मना तुमची शोधुनी पाहे. तर याच्यातच सर्व उत्तर आहे. You also mentioned about the woman is a multitasking personality, and more than 33% to 50% women are working in different countries. But you are not aware about one country which has more than 75% of the women employees, and that is Surya.
Oh, very good.
So that is a world record.
Yeah.
Thirdly, you mentioned other day we met in Raj Bhavan in one of the program, and I really appreciate Madam there and there itself. She told me, I want to recruit, because she is heading HR department in our organization where more than 5,000 employees are working. So it's really commendable. And you as a woman managing family and kids and also supporting your husband and lots of other things, social work, CSR work you are doing, it's really commendable. And we are seeing this growth over a period of last 1 decade. The involvement of women is increasing day by day in all the value-added activities. It can be any sector. You already mentioned about that. I want to ask you one question, that what is your plan ahead? Well, after growing from a 3 employee to almost 1,000 plus employees, 5,000 rupees crore turnover. Earlier supplying to only Bajaj Auto, almost 70 to 80% of the components Bharwani Engineering used to supply to Bajaj Auto. And there was some downfall in between, and therefore you started venturing or started your supplies to many industries, more than 40 industries you mentioned. What is the plan ahead? Because you mentioned that your company, you give more importance for your customer. Customer is always right. और म्हणतो की customer हा एक देवच आहे आपल्याकरता. And therefore we should fulfill their expectation according to their perception, whether right or wrong. That's your policy out of the 4 core values you mentioned that. But you never mention about your plan ahead because the journey is continuously growing. You are moving ahead from one destination to other destination, one plant to other plant, from one state to various other states. How about your plan abroad India? I mean outside India.
Yes, thanks for this question, sir. So, just to mention one thing, just to add your point. So, we have 4,000 white collar persons, but we have almost 20,000 blue collar persons also working with us.
Commendable.
So, that is the huge workforce working with us. So, when coming to your point, yes, we have very good domestic growth till last many years. Now we are exporting to JLR, we are exporting to Honeywell, and we have lot many other export companies whom we are exporting. But now just to because we have started and we are very blessed in a way that our children also wants to come to our business. So that is a very good thing. I must thank God for that because I have seen many companies where the business has grown, but the next generation don't want to come to the business. So that is good part. So now at this level, we are looking to have global presence, as you mentioned. So we will be expanding globally. We want some global footprints, maybe in UK, US, Germany. So we are thinking for this JVs. And secondly, now you all know that EV is a very emerging field. So we have started in working and we want to work, our second generation is more focusing on EV business. So maybe that is our focus and secondly, we will come with some innovative products also. So that is why.
Last question as usual, question number 3. You mentioned about, first of all, congratulations to you. Honorable Chandrakant ji appointed you as a president of Women Empowerment Cell, but we cannot wait till April. As you are aware that we have more than 75% female employees and more than 2,000 girls studying with us. So we would like to invite you to Suradatta, and I would like to suggest you to go to various other colleges also, and I'm sure everybody will get motivated and they will get inspired, particularly the girl students who are studying in engineering, management, pharma or any other courses. They will definitely get motivated and they will see you as a role model for definitely which will build their future. So thank you so much, ma'am. Now with the last speaker and then question answer session, I request Jigar Desai ji. के नाम में ही जिगर है. Jigar Desai ji, area manager for SBI General Insurance. All of you are aware that the insurance sector is growing. As on date, according to my knowledge, 8 to 13% people are only having their insurance. We are not talking about the general insurance. We are talking about the insurance as a whole, right, maybe sir, including the life insurance and different types of insurance. Right. So what are the opportunities available for SME sector? What are the schemes and plans available with you at the lesser premium? What is the best solution? How one should go for their insurance of their assets or maybe for their lives? Maybe it is related to theft, it can be related to fire, it can be related to any other, particularly IT and the present uncertainty like Corona. Right. Is there any provision available for insurance coverage or to natural calamities? Any solutions available? What all precautionary measures or do's and don'ts one should follow while they consult any insurance agent or the insurance company? Maybe particularly with reference to SME first, and maybe if time permits for individual also. So thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Firstly, I would like to thank Mr. Salunke and SME Chamber of India for the wonderful conduct. over a period of time, we have been discussing a lot about insurance as a tool of risk management, and it is one of a tool in assuring business continuity. So going forward, as sir rightly said, that what are the important part and how we should be taking insurance, because insurance, as we normally the companies project it, there is always a asterisk mark on the each and every poster stating it. There are condition applies to each and every clause. Undoubtedly, insurance has a lot of conditions around it, and therefore we have experts and agents and broker to handle those situation and give you the right coverages. Insurance are available for all the kind of calamities, including the one that we face, that are faced by the SMEs. Specifically today, I am prepared to talk about one such thing which is called credit insurance. Credit insurance is basically a very old type of insurance, widely available, widely used in Western countries to ensure secure repayment of transactions. So uh, normally we see, sorry, yeah. So normally we see that there are transactions with credit period of 30 days, 45 days, 90 days, depending on the size of transaction, uh, the industry trend, and lots of different things that can be talked about. And what happens if this transaction fail? What happens when there is no repayment? What happens when there are defaults? What happens when there are NPAs? So this is where the insurance company comes in the play, and yes, this transactions can be insured uh, nicely, and this is one of the biggest threat post COVID in terms of credits are the biggest threat post COVID scenario, and we have been seeing a lot of inquiries regarding this insurance over a period of time after 2020. uh, who can be covered? This insurance is widely given to B2B businesses, where the transaction and policy is serving nearly all business classes, excluding diamond and jewelry industry. Uh, what is a trade credit insurance? Trade credit insurance basically protects commercial accountancy for unexpected losses and insolvency, which also results to non-payment or slow payment. यानी अगर पेमेंट नहीं आता है या पेमेंट डिले होके आता है, ये दोनों चीज कवर करता है क्रेडिट इंश्योरेंस. So this can be because of many reasons which are covered under the policy as uh, what kind of reason it could be. One is obviously insolvency. Uh, there is something called protected default. Protected default is I have given my goods to A, and he has given his salary to person B, and he has not received a payment from person B, and the A person who is my vendor is not paying me back. So those protracted default are also covered under the policy. LC transaction where there is a insolvency in LC opening of the bank. Something very important, as we rightly said, that some insurance में conditions होती है. So yes, there are conditions that are illustrated in bold here, that disputes are not covered under this policy, and whatever insurance company cover under credit insurance, any insurance company cover under credit insurance is up to 85 or 90% of the invoice value. Now, besides being a commercial risk, there are country risks as well associated with credit insurance. Let me just say it before that when we are talking about credit insurance, I am talking in both the senses. One is the domestic credit, यानी हम अगर इंडिया में ट्रेड करते हैं तो हमारा डोमेस्टिक क्रेडिट होता है, इंटरनेशनल ट्रेड करते हैं तो इंटरनेशनल ट्रेड होता है. तो कंट्री रिस्क इज बेसिकली मोर सो एवर कंसर्न्ड ऑन द इंटरनेशनल ट्रेड बिजनेस. यहाँ पे ट्रांसफर रिस्क होते हैं, पॉलिटिकल रिस्क होते हैं, गवर्नमेंट मॉनिटोरियम रिस्क होते हैं. So there are multiple type of risk associated that we are not aware of, or may they affect our payments, and this is a type of cover that is provided when you give credits to your vendors overseas also. Okay, so the benefits of this policy are in three types. One is the risk protection. In There is a general loss prevention and sales expansion. Obviously, as I told you earlier, the risk protection part is when your invoices are getting protected. You are being paid against if there is any kind of insolvency or any kind of risk to a key account of yours. Besides that, there is a general loss prevention also done from our end, where our credit evaluation team gives a complete credit analysis of all your customers. There is a appropriate structure and a system process which gives you insight about your trades and the customers that as and when you are dealing it with. And there are underwriters that are always available on the on our interactive portal to assure that you can get a good immediate reply about any of your credit query. Sales expansion is also one of the most important tool, because one of the most prominent reason that we fail or that we deny our transactions are knowing our vendors. We get due diligence from our vendors for our vendors, sorry, and there can be a misappropriation in that process. So when the same thing is done with the insurance, that the due diligence of the vendor is done as well as the insurance cover is also provided for that vendor, it gives a double X effect to your sales as well. So obviously this uh, entire process also ensures कि आपके जो नए vendors on board हो रहे हैं उसका भी हम due diligence करके आपको उसका क्रेडिट के उनकी क्रेडिट्स के बारे में हम आपको बताएं. Yes, these are the asterisk part of the policy where there are sales exclusion. The exclusion I would not go in detail for benefit of time, but yes, the policy has certain exclusion and it does not provide cover under such certain conditions. Although any insurance company does not charge for the exclusion coverage also, because when we are not charging it, we won't cover it as well. This is a special proposition from SBI General what we provide uh, on the trade credit platform. Uh, we provide commercial underwriting, risk underwriting, smart portal, which is also been supported by our reinsurer, which is Core Re, and collection and claims of any of the debtors that you allow us to service under the policy. These are the sectors that we are servicing right now, currently, and we are continuously expanding our portfolio of credit insurance, which is more so over around 6 to 700 crores of insurance premium as on date. Okay, just a brief about how this insurance work, so that you get a fair idea about what credit insurance does. I guess most of you know about ECGC. Uh, ECGC is something that you use for the exports and which is mandatory as per bank's requirement for certain kind of exports. This is a similar insurance. It also gives a bank assignment. It can also be replaced other with ECGC insurance and given a bank assignment accordingly. But it also provides you exposure to the domestic clients as well. Besides the same, there is an interactive portal, smart portal, which is for under which you can give a queries to insurance company, queries to our reinsurer about your client, and there would be a reply to it on immediate basis. I'm just sharing you a flow of a claim if some incident had happened and what is the time frame that is taken under the credit insurance policy. So just say for example, I have raised an invoice on 1st of March uh, with uh, with a credit period of 60 days. Uh, the credit period exhausts on 30th April. But I know the customer since quite a time, so so I'm willing to extend the credit period. I have an option to snooze the credit period for as much time as I want, and I intend to extend it till 29th of June for another 60 days. After 60 days, after the extension of another 60 days, I decide if the credit is not been repaid, I decide to raise a claim. And at that time, we will come into picture. We will ask you to stop all the shipments to the required customer, to the said customer, and from there we'll start with you. We'll start first to recover your amount, and if the amount is not recovered in within first 150 days, we'll pay you the entire settlement. This does not include the cases of NPA or insolvency, because those are open and shut case. So we immediately, once the NPA is confirmed, we immediately settle the claim forth-handedly for the customers. So in the normal course of time, we take 150 days to recover, and if that amount is not recovered with the 150 days, we pay the claim to the customer. This is how a normal credit insurance work. Uh, and this is the life cycle of the credit insurance, and this is one of the most important tool right now in the current situation, which is used by most of our customers, whether it be in any segment available, pharma, engineering units, whether it be chemical units, and they are using it. So the usage, had been a good usage of in exports, but since almost 2 years, we have seen a hike in domestic credit limits as well. So this is something about the credit insurance which is the current pain point, and I would like to invite any questions on the same. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, sir. Just would like to know more about I mean, you already mentioned the highlights of SBI General,
Right, sir.
but can you specify any one particular highlight which is unique and no other insurance company is doing?
Right, sir. SBI General is basically backed by the State Bank of India, and SBI General is basically in all the segment of insurance. We have all products, whether it are pertaining to property, liability, credit, and marine. So, if I say specifically about the credit insurance part, there are partnerships across the world, because insurance company do businesses with reinsurers, and we are the think tank of our reinsurer in India. So that is the plus point about the credit insurance part, which I would like to highlight. As you rightly said, that is the highlight with SBI General as on point. Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much. Now the forum is open for Q&A. There are many young minds sitting here. The female entrepreneurs are also here. Both SME and MSME, owners, promoters, founders, directors, startup companies, professionals are also sitting here. So I think the volunteer is there. You can raise your hands. Volunteer will come with a mic. If you have the name of the panel members,
Good evening.
or in general, it can be for all also.
This is Kalpesh from Manyar Injectoplast Private Limited, Mumbai. We are a company, manufacturers and exporters of customized plastic parts. My question to Mr. Jigar, when you say that you are insuring the credit risk, I was talking to ECGC last week.
Right, sir.
They do not insure the consignment which are the merchant rate. So I just want to know if SBI do that.
No, sir. Merchant rate consignment are not insured by any of the insurance companies as well.
Okay, okay, thank you.
So my question is to Samir actually. Hi Samir, my name is Girish Kashwani. I am founder of PK Consulting. We are a low-cost consulting firm providing digital and financial transformation services. So, would like to ask you, in the presentation that you ran actually, why was that 5 crore limitations, one, and how do you collaborate for the experts that you onboard? In turn, they would be probably consulting the SMEs and things like that. So, I hope my question is clear.
Yeah, so thanks. Thanks for that. So your question has two parts. The first is about 5 crore and how do we collaborate with the external experts. So let me answer the first question. So in last 2 years, we really looked at SMEs of all revenue sizes, right from right from even 50 lakhs to 500 crores. and we worked with about 600 SMEs. And one of the behaviors that we learned was that we found that a lot of the SMEs which were very small were not committed to learning because they had lots of firefighting processes that was going on, and it was difficult for them to invest time, energy, share data, and really look at graduating and learning and taking it to the next level. So as per the program focus mandate, we want to focus on those entrepreneurs who are not only wanting to grow fast, but who are also interested in learning. So therefore, we have decided that threshold limit as for now. If we find somebody who is of different revenue size, a smaller size, but is committed to learning, we'll definitely consider that. So that I hopefully answers the first question.
Yeah, of course.
And then the second one is about how do we collaborate. So two parts. One is that when we talked about 100 curated advisors or experts, we basically have three segments there. The firms like yours, yours is a consulting firm and you would do consulting in particular domain. There are experts, so individual experts. And the third ones are entrepreneurs themselves who want to give it back to the society because they have done it and they have learned through experience. Now, the way we collaborate is that we basically ask for certain pro bono hours from these guys because they want to give this back to the SME community, and they would give certain pro bono hours. Plus, we also have arrangements with them for subsidized charge rates so that the SMEs that come through us are able to get the benefit of the expertise, but at a much affordable cost. And the third is that we collaborate with them in three areas. One is IP creation. Second is that when we actually diagnose the problems of the SMEs, we take the help of the consultants in execution, and we do the PMO. And the third collaboration is where we would invite them for collaboration in terms of even the talent supply, because a lot of times that the demand exceeds supply and we can't put our own staff. We basically go to them and say, would you have somebody on bench, and they would do that. So these are the three ways that we collaborate.
Thank you so much.
Any other question? Yes.
Hello, good evening to all. Myself Prashant Goraksha from UPR Engineering Private Limited. My question is to Mr. Salunke sir. I think you might be the right person for asking this question because you are having many discussion with our country's leaders. I'm from the aerospace company, so we are the supplier for aerospace customers. So what challenges we are facing is we are not normally getting this raw material in India. So if
question belongs to rather Joe Lebas, but I will answer you. Usually, whatever the product you want to import or you want to manufacture here, if you can give me some, in writing, particularly requirements, particularly your need. What is the turnover of your company?
our turnover is 8 crore.
8 crore.
Yeah.
And how much your requirement is there?
Around every year we are importing close to 3 crore of material.
And how much is the business opportunity for that in India demand?
Yeah, like that almost in India there are so many companies importing the same material like Tata. Even in Hyderabad there are many companies. Almost I can say that 99% aerospace companies are importing the material because all the OEMs have their policy that material should be from their approved facility like Rolls-Royce. Even we are also certified by Rolls-Royce, then only we can supply to their companies.
Okay, give me more information by email, then I can, yeah.
Just to add to what Mr. Salunke said, there is a focused approach by the Ministry of Defense, and they have listed down the materials, alloys required specifically for defense requirements, and a lot of them is for aerospace. So there is an approach that has been taken. There is a program, and defense materials research labs are working on it. Some of the materials have already been developed by the Tata Group. I know for sure an aluminum alloy for the defense industry being developed by Hindalco. So all that effort is going on, and there is a list of materials and alloys which are required by the Indian aerospace manufacturers. You can find it on the Department of Defense Production website and reach out to those sources. Yes, so that effort is on.
Thank you.
Yeah, I would also like to add to your question, to give you answer. See, many times it is very difficult to take a decision of manufacturing this material in country, respective country, those who are importing, depending upon the make and buy decision. Because sometimes manufacturing in India will be much more costlier considering the investment involved in making that material in-house or in our country compared to the imported landed cost, including the custom duty. So therefore, everybody is aware about this and this is very common process. Whenever the cost justification is there, import versus make in-house, automatically there will be a number of players who will come forward and they will start manufacturing in collaboration to start with. Maybe they will import some alloys or related material and then slowly over a period of time they can completely manufacture in India. So it's a very common procedure for any component which gets indigenized to serve the local customers in India. So that's the only obstacle. What you can do, you can calculate your annual requirements. You should know the lead time, how much time it takes for the shipment, manufacturing time, lead time, uncertainties. Keep some safety stock at your end and place the order minimum 1 or 2 months in advance so that at any given point of time you have raw material available and your work is not held up. Or you may go to that portal, find out the total requirement, join hands with them, give your order to them and give your schedule also, how much is your monthly requirement so that at appropriate time you will get the raw material at your doorstep. It's very easily manageable. So any other questions?
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much. I think we are running out of time. We're moving ahead to the last speaker, for which I would like to call Dr. Deepthi Patil, Vice Chairperson for Pune Region, Women Entrepreneur Development Council. Can we have a huge round of applause for her, everyone?
Thank you, all the dignitaries and my listeners. It was really a long day, but I will wind up only in 5 minutes. Let us discuss the importance of emotional intelligence to improve your business activities. We have heard many times about or read about what is IQ and EQ or EI, what is emotional intelligence. Let me quickly tell you about IQ. IQ is intelligent quotient which cannot be changed. That is God gifted and we are born with certain IQ. We cannot utilize it properly because of some obstacles, but with the help of certain therapies we can utilize it. But emotional intelligence is a thing which can be modified, which can be changed, which can be trained for the betterment of the life. So before starting my speech on this, I would like to ask you all a few questions. For that, I would like everyone, if you all please close your eyes and I will ask you a few couple of questions. I hope you answer it honestly to yourself. No worries, nobody is going to judge you here. So my first question is, how many of you all have thought in last few days that whether you are emotionally intelligent person or not? And after thinking this, do you really feel that you are emotionally intelligent person? My second question is, how many of you all have worked consciously on your emotional skills? Thank you for participating and being so honest to yourself. So what is this mysterious emotional intelligence? Let us understand what is emotion. Emotion is a strong feeling as anger, joy, love, fear, often accompanied by some physical reactions. It's very difficult to correlate between being emotional and the value of emotional intelligence. Emotional intelligence is something which is completely fundamental. Emotional intelligence is the ability to identify and manage your emotions and those of others. Emotional intelligence has basic 4 attributes. The first is self-management, how you manage yourself, how you behave, how you react,
how impulsive you are. The second is self-awareness. Are you aware of your strengths and weaknesses? The third attribute is the social awareness. Are you empathetic? Do you understand what others feel? What are others' reactions? Do you really understand others' feelings? And the fourth attribute is relationship management. Do you know how to develop and maintain a good relationship? Being emotional doesn't mean that you have a very high emotional intelligence. Being emotional is just reflecting or showing your emotions, maybe at the inappropriate time. You don't know why exactly it's coming, and from where it's coming, you just don't know the origin of it. It's just an outburst. Now let us understand what are the different signs of emotional when you have a low emotional intelligence. Many of us must have heard like, I am always correct, is the very first sign of low emotional intelligence. Unaware of the feelings, insensitivity towards others. They keep on blaming others for their failure. They have poor coping skills. There are emotional outbursts. They struggle with the relationships and breakups, loneliness, fear, aggressiveness. Because we haven't learned how to deal with this emotional intelligence. Since our school age, we have read so many books on different topics. We have learned so many subjects. We have learned so many things in our school, in our college life. But till date, we have hardly learned or hardly studied any book on emotional intelligence, which is actually very important for us. Do you know why people judge or they bully others? Or they beat the kids? Or at work intoxicate the friendship or relationship? Because of insecurity and lack of emotional intelligence. It's really hard to understand the difference between your emotions and between others' emotions, and to deal and to connect with others' mind, what exactly the other person is feeling, what exactly the other person is going through, from which situation the person is going. In order to change that, we really need to understand emotional intelligence and consider it as a crucial skill of our society. And also we should take time consciously to work on it. Also, in fact, we don't give our employees to learn what is emotional intelligence. We don't give them time to work on it. We just want them to give their best to the organization, as we provide them a good pay scale, maybe good physical facilities and services they need, like training, incentive, medical insurance, retirement accounts, etc., etc. But we don't give them chance to connect to themselves and their emotions. So, if you want them to become really emotionally intelligent, you need to be a role model for them. First, you need to make changes in yourself. And so, you need to work on your competency skills. You need to do the competency mapping. I can give you a best example. Everybody must have learned driving. Just remember the first day when you are learning to drive a car. There are so many multiple things you are doing together. The first day of driving car, you think, oh, I need to operate the clutch, I need to change the gear, I need to operate the brake also, same time. I need to accelerate the car, and at the same time I need to see how is the traffic and keep a core attention on it. It's so difficult. But when you learn driving a car, unconscious competence achieved. It's very tricky from conscious incompetence to conscious competence. First is unconscious incompetence, that is your current stage. We are just unaware of things. Then comes the conscious incompetence. You start getting aware of certain things. Then comes the conscious competence. Consciously, you pay attention to certain things and do it. That is the learning phase. And when you master it, unconscious competence achieved. You are a master. It's just like how you drive a car. And when you become a master in driving a car, you're driving a car, you're operating all the complex mechanism. Same time, you have a conversation, whoever is in the car. Maybe you have a phone call also, you attend it, and everything is fine. It's same with the emotional intelligence. It's really not very hard if you practice it. Now, how to achieve it? There are 6 simple steps. The first step is acknowledge the emotions. Erase that taboo from the society that exists even today, that talking about emotions is really bad. Yes, if I'm sad, I should say, yeah, I'm sad, I'm feeling low, I'm depressed. The second thing is differentiate and analyze the emotions. Many times, the emotions, there are so many n number of different emotions, but many times we manipulate it. So try to differentiate it, analyze it, get down to the core of the emotions from where they are arising. Accept and appreciate the emotions. Yes, I'm low, I'm sad, I'm depressed. Reflect on your emotions and their origin. Be observant. What exactly is happening with me? Why is it happening with me? Get to the core. Handle your emotions. Now, there are many ways of handling the emotions. Maybe what works for me may not work for you, but maybe something else would work for you. I can write down, I can discuss with my friends, I can ask my friend, how would you have handled this certain situation? And the last step is handle the emotion of others. That is the very much important and the last step. Understanding and awareness are the keys of emotional intelligence. Just a simple question. How can I help you? How can they help themselves? Maybe by asking this question, you are helping others to improve their emotional intelligence. This way, we can have few emotional intelligent people around us and thus help our next generation to be emotionally intelligent. We need to teach our employees to be emotionally intelligent, but before that, I said, first we need to master it and become a role model for everyone. We should give them a space and openly talk about their emotions so that they can acknowledge their emotions. Help them to accept and appreciate them. You know, being a psychologist and practicing since so many years, what I feel, you should always be an active and a good listener. When you listen to a problem actively, when you are a good listener, 50% of the problem is solved there itself. Really, it's not very difficult and can be practiced easily in your organization. Just imagine if every one of us is emotionally intelligent, how would the organization be? If the boss is emotionally intelligent and the employees are also emotionally intelligent, full of mutual understanding, acceptance, tolerance, and connection, a truly inclusive organization. How awesome that would be. We SME Chambers of India are always there to help you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you so much. I would like to request Chandrakant sir to please come ahead on the stage for the vote of thanks.
Thank you, Dr. Dipti Patil. Rather, this is a initiative of our SME Chamber of India to make intelligent SMEs, rather intelligent entrepreneurs. जब कोई entrepreneur किसी supplier के पास या buyer के पास जाता है, and that time when he say, no, I don't want to buy from you, or your price is very high, or quality is not good, physical या emotional behavior मत दिखाइए, थोड़ा समझ जाइए कि इसे किसके साथ कैसे आगे डील करना है, because you don't want to lose the customer. So that emotional intelligent activity we do, and we support entrepreneurs. So friends, entrepreneurs means what? How we have learned today from the many speakers, especially Mr. Sathe, must be understand that how we can transform entrepreneurs, how we can transform enterprises for better business growth. Entrepreneur in India, particularly in Maharashtra, Mr. Levas, for your knowledge, he plays more than 42 roles per day. He is a planner, he is an advisor, he is a purchaser, he is a seller, he is a marketer. He does research. He look at who is my next door competitor. He look at what is the political development happen. He look at what is the product price per day is increasing or decreasing. He look at the new customer. He try to find out new ideas. So this kind of role played by our entrepreneur, and mostly what is the need of our for them? Finance, skill manpower, identifying potential market, and mostly level playing field created by the government. And the chamber is putting efforts for bringing all these machineries, or other all the stakeholders together, a platform where we can provide a value addition to them. If you look at what kind of entrepreneurial development activity we can do, or empowerment activity we can do, huge list I have, because most of the entrepreneurs focus more on the manufacturing, but then they don't look at for a marketing. They focus on the marketing, but they don't look at the development of the quality. So many entrepreneurs are not aware about business valuation of their company, the valuation of their company. If we ask someone what is the turnover of a company, he says 100 crores, but valuation he don't know. How many entrepreneurs listed in a capital market? Very selected, limited. Many people doesn't know about what is the importance and benefit of the capital market. So there are plenty of things. Rather, most important, we have to improve the quality leadership of the entrepreneurs. Unless until we will not develop quality leadership amongst them, they will not be prepared. They will not prepared for competing with the not only Indian market but the Chinese market, global market. China government playing very important role. They are providing level playing field to their entrepreneurs. They are achieving the target growth. They are putting efforts. They are spending a lot of money for marketing, branding, and promotion. And mostly they are supporting to identify quality technology, advanced technology, affordable technology, and patented technology. You look at how many patents filed by Chinese companies. I have visited 2007 one company. They are manufacturing best quality mosquito net. And the mosquito net, I found that that is the best item, the best product made in the world. And they have 120 patents on that. I was surprised, I was shocked. 120 patents they have, submitted for what? Mosquito net and related to products. So this kind of awareness we have to create amongst our entrepreneurs, especially SME sector, because now we know that they are putting efforts for the industrial contribution, exports, creating jobs, creating new entrepreneurship. After all, what? They are not getting funding, they are not getting affordable land, they are not getting a proper land, they are not getting a proper support from the buyers also. So for therefore we have created a lot of platforms, such like a trades platform is there, SME stock exchange is there. We have support created for the SMEs, those are looking to supply to large corporate. And most importantly, we have created a platform called SME Global Competitiveness Council. The Samir Sate, he's now chairperson of that committee, and we are bringing together the stalwarts from the consultancy field. Because consultancy, when a person is starting, either he has a knowledge about job experience, he has a knowledge about particularly from the education field, he has a practical knowledge from the running the business or working in a large corporate or a company, and he has a knowledge because of the his education background or a skill. That is the most important our initiative of that council. And today morning I have announced that Professor and Dr. Sanjay Choradia ji can lead our Entrepreneurship Development Council, because that is his role. He was working in a large corporate, he has started his institute, and he is creating new India, the manpower for new India, the skilled manpower for new India, and skilled manpower for making new entrepreneurship. Honorable Prime Minister is dreaming India can be a third largest country in the world, economic country in the world. We can achieve the $5 trillion economy in 2025. We can achieve $3 trillion exports by 2030. We can make India as a manufacturing hub. Who is going to do? All of us are going to do. So this is a rather point we have to think. And we're sitting in a Pune. Pune is a hub of manufacturing now of India. So how we can enhance our business activity in Pune region, Maharashtra region, or All India region, that is our aim, and that is our initiative, and that is our focus area. So friends, I will not take much time, but I request all of you, take advantage of this platform, do business properly, create your credibility and visibility on market. Chamber is there to support you. Our friend from the SBI General said, where is he? He's left. There is a star mark. So the star mark condition apply, become member, then only you'll be able to take advantage. And I have one question for you, SBI General. You said there is a insurance for political parties, political movements or political you are giving that party for not to move the MLA or MP to other party or what? So you can explain me when we meet together. So friends, thank you very much for to listening to us. Till the 5:30. It's amazing. All these participants are still waiting when we can take a break and we can have a networking. So thank you very much. All the best. This is not the end of the conference. This is a startup conference in Pune. Now after the pandemic, every month we are going to organize conference here, program here, and most probably you can reach Dr. Choradia or Dipti Patil for any other help. Thank you very much. Thanks for all the sponsors and supporters to make this event a grand success. Thank you very much.